Hello, I'm Steven Stump here with Dean Girbach, another one of our city council members here of City Saline. Dean, thank you so much for coming and joining us today.
Thanks for inviting me.
So Dean, how did you decide to go for city council? Not the normal, get up and I'm going to be on city council. So how did city council become the thought to do?
Well, I went into city council about 10 years ago, a little bit more than that originally, and then I was on for about 6 years. And so I decided I wanted to come back on again and just participate. I missed it. I enjoyed doing it when I was on the first time. And I know right now we're kind of having difficulties, and I think my expertise and my background kind of was something that I wanted to give back to my community. And since Saline's been my home for all this time period, it was just something I think we all should be able to do, is just kind of step up to the plate.
So with the before time, so now how long have you been on city council, I guess, in total now? With having
so right now I've been
terms?
on probably about just a year. Well, not a year, I just started at the beginning of the year is what I should say.
Okay, so yeah, you just started this year, and then you said you had 6 years
previously
before?
My last year was 2003.
Okay.
And then I've been on some different city commissions.
Okay.
Taxing boards,
Gotcha.
economic development, the TIFA, tax increment finance, and that. I've kept involved. I'm just not into the council portion.
So, was it a different mayor than when you were doing it, or was?
No, it's always been Gretchen.
It's always been Gretchen.
The first year I was on was Rick Coos.
Okay.
And then Gretchen, I believe, was the second year I was on council. And then we've basically been serving her for the last 12 or many years it's been.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things. I've seen photos and I barely remember some of the other ones, but just since I've been at a point where I can actually remember, in the city government, it's always been Gretchen. So I was trying to think of when she started.
And actually, I had run for mayor back in 2004 against Gretchen. So, and then I had stepped down for a little while. So.
Gotcha. Will do. I understand. Is there any, with you coming back and you're saying about your expertise, is there any goals that you had planned that you were like, I know on city council it's not like you're goal driven that you want to accomplish your task against somebody else, but was there any greater goals you thought that the city should try to accomplish that you wanted to try to kind of head up and lead?
Yeah,
or?
I think there was. Part of it was, people use the word sustainability. I'm kind of looking at continued quality of life. I think one of our things is really looking at how Saline can continue to provide the services that we have, keep it a city that we all enjoy, but some of my goals were like looking at how we can do less with what we have and also be able to work with other units of government, namely the county, and look at services and such where we can save from that perspective and basically help each other out. And the words are being used like shared sacrifice, but more it's the idea that we work together as a community and we work with individuals, and basically I think we have to have less expectations but be able to meet those expectations to a degree. So.
Gotcha. So are you working a normal job with doing the rest of city council, or city council kind of like the full-time job?
Yeah, no, I've got a full-time job.
Okay.
I'm a financial manager at the School of Public Health at the University of Michigan.
Gotcha.
Been there for about 7 years now. Prior to that, I was at the School of Dentistry. No, it's a full-time job. I fill this in as part of my, I guess you would call my, work-life balance. I enjoy doing this as part of my way to, work off some of my other things that get on, and I go and do this. No, but I'm full-time. I work basically 6:30 till 5, and then I take a couple hours to try and work out, and then I'll come to council or some other commission meetings.
Gotcha. So if somebody wanted to get involved in helping with the city or possibly running for city council, any suggestions or tips on how to kind of get to the spot? Because there's no dummies to city council book or anything like that, but any suggestions on?
I think really what it is attending meetings, go to some different events, talk to your city councilman. I'm encouraging anyone to run for office and do those type of things, because we do have to have new people come in board. We need to have people that want to work and participate. Just get to know the different individuals, participate in some of the commissions. If we have events like the Oktoberfest or the Summerfest or some of those, work in that, you get to know different people, and if you really are serious about it, take the chance, take out a petition, get 50 signatures, and make a run for it. We always think that, I think those individuals that want to take that risk, it's worth it, because it's part of what we really should be doing as a good citizen.
Gotcha. Any thoughts of going past city council? City council kind of
Well, at one time I wanted to run for mayor, and I did. At this point, because I've got this full-time job, and I have a lot of other family needs and things that I'm taking care of, I would like to someday do that, but I think it needs to be more of ability to have the time to do it during the day. I think the current mayor has the ability to work with individuals in Saline, and it's important to be there, to be able to be right there. My job, unfortunately, is in Saline right now. And I think maybe in the future, when I retire, or if my schedule changes a little bit and we become more of this balance where we may be working from home or different things like that, I can try and participate more, and I'll look at other offices. Who knows, maybe county commissioner or something.
Okay.
I just want to stay involved at this level right now, just to stay involved.
Understand. So talk about your time in Saline. Did you grow up in Saline, or I mean?
Yeah, actually, I grew up in Saline. I mean, Girbach name is a well-known name around here. And even my grandfather was on city council back in the 30s, and my great-grandfather was back before then. So there was kind of a tradition in there I think I had to follow on. Grew up in Saline. I went to Saline High School, the old one. And then I went on to Eastern Michigan for my undergrad in business, accounting. And then later, about 1990, I got my master's in business administration.
Gotcha.
And so, and Saline has been my home all the time. I've had spent a couple of years ago away when I was in grad school, but from all that point in time, I've either lived in Saline or in one location or one quadrant of the city at some point in time.
So now I'm guessing with that accounting background, has that helped as a lot of financial numbers get thrown out at the city council meetings, and is that?
Yeah, I think it does.
Nice
A little for me, because it is. You can see where the numbers are setting. You can understand what fund balances are, how the different operations work together, where there's money, potential savings or such. And I think my other background, because beyond the accounting, is my administrative, where I've worked with personnel and I've worked with understanding cost analysis and those type of things. So I think that helps a great deal for stepping in and being able to assist in understanding what's being presented to me.
And kind of talking about what you're saying about the mayor and being in contact with technology and that with emails and Facebook and Twitter and all that, do you feel like that helps the city get a hold of you, or is it more face to face, or kind of what's?
I think it's a combination of both. The luck about having email and such is that we can get documentation to us sooner. And I can just get it all and look at it right there. I don't have to wait until a packet's delivered, the hard copy packet, until Thursday, which we always get it. I can look at it then, review it when I have more time, and if it's right there on my iPad or my laptop, I can just check it out. The other thing with the email, because of Open Meetings Act, it doesn't really benefit us because we can't be doing discussions and such like that, but it does help in terms of I'm able to probably respond quicker because since I'm sitting at a computer all day long, it's a way of, without having to pick up the phone or such. I do still like to be able to contact directly with someone, but for me it's kind of difficult during the day because I'm in Ann Arbor and everyone else is here, but we work either that way through our emails, or even I have used a little bit of Facebook working with some of the individuals that are on there just to kind of keep up to date and posting stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, do you guys see posting a lot of stuff on Facebook to keep the city like informed on stuff, or is it?
I would hope so. I would think that we were having to use it because that's a social network tool. That's a tool that basically, just like a website, a lot more people seem to be paying attention to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think with the Facebook, it's a little more social, and as many people would rather deal with social things and not so much as.
Yeah, well, I know personally, I'm one that follows the Twitter of Saline, City of Saline, and I know things popping in there, and it's kind of, to me, I guess I've always seen Twitter as more of the business type. Here's a fact, here's an information, here's an article or something like that, and I see that because with running the station, sometimes it's trash pickups delayed or different things like that. That's kind of nice that with the Twitter, it's just here's a like 2-sentence statement. That's all you need to know, and
I think you're right. I think that probably would be the better way to basically provide that kind of emergency type information and such, because I do know that the Washington County has attempted to try and identify information like there's storm issues or things like that, and it's trying to figure out how to get that out as quick as possible because everybody's got their smartphone.
Yep.
And probably Twitter will be, and I don't know how often we're doing it in the city right now.
No, I understand. So the big question that I kind of throw out here, and I never mean it to be what's the best and what's the worst or anything, but an event in Saline that's memorable, that means a lot to you. Some people say it's the hardest question I ask, some say it's kind of an easier one. Any real vote or pick or something that's just kind of the most meaningful to you in any of this?
When you mean event in terms of one of our...
Memorial Day Parade, Summerfest, Celtic Fest.
I think it's a combination of all the events that happen in the downtown. Summerfest has always been a fun event. I liked going there. Everybody comes out there. I see friends that I haven't seen in a while. It's just a good time. Everyone's working together or participating in an event. The Memorial Day Parade, I think, is really, for me, is a traditional thing because I used to march in it when I was in high school. And my parents basically took me there when I was a small child. And it's one of those events where it's just a sign of Saline's community and what it really means. And you get there, and it's amazing when you see that many people together and still doing it in this day and age, and really gathering to basically pay respect to our veterans and such. And I think for me that it can be kind of a emotional, but a really thought-provoking type of event. So I think you're right. That would be probably my best one.
The thing I noticed with that one is being out and filming a lot of the parades. That's the biggest turnout, and you don't notice it so much on the parade route because everyone's just on the sides. But when everyone packs into the cemetery there at Oakwood Cemetery, it's just like bumper to bumper. And some of those Memorial Days that they can be cold and rainy, and there's other ones that it's like frying hot. And I'm still like, this many people are out here on this type of heat. So like I said, I agree. I think it's a very moving one there. Any thought with? I mean, I know since you just started here with City Council, maybe you're running again come next time, or kind of too early to make that call? Or
no, I think I would run again. I enjoy doing this, and as long as the people believe that I'm working for them correctly and providing what they need, I hope they will reconsider me and vote for me again. But yeah, I know it's just my first term, but when I decided to do this again, I felt that this would be something I would continue to do until, and unless some other event comes up that I can't. But my hope in the future is to continue doing this and to stay involved for this perspective, because I think over the next probably 10 years, we're, as a city and as a state, going to be facing some real difficult challenges in how we restructure ourselves and such, and people need to be willing to make a call or to be available just to do that, and I think I want to do that.
Gotcha. Is there anything else you want to tell the community or say, or anything else?
I'm just glad that you've had this opportunity to let us kind of speak this and kind of get ourselves out there. I do hope that we can have more communication with the public through, like you said, email and any other communication, so that to get a little more feedback. I think sometimes people are a little hesitant to contact us, those that feel comfortable with it, but some may not. But they should always feel that way, that we're willing to be there for them and willing to listen.
Great. Well, Dean, thank you so much for coming and having the interview.
Steve.
This has been another interview with our City Council member, Dean Girbach.
This has been an SCTN production.